All right. Hello, everyone who is here. It is Tuesday, June 11th, 2019, and the E3 2019 press conferences wrapped up today. Before I continue, I do want to say, or give my apologies for uh, not streaming um, on Friday and Sunday when I would have been normally scheduled to. I didn't give out any notices or anything. So apologies about that, but we're back now. We're going to be on the regular schedule. Uh, so yeah. Anyways, it's first time to talk about E3. So I made a little something just to kind of look at to that will help kind of like the flow of discussion, I suppose, and it'll just give something, again, a visual. So I made this. It's kind of silly, but it's a I think I called it the E3 discussion board. So I kind of just put up some of the big things that stuck out to me, and we'll kind of just use this as a way to talk about uh, E3. So um, I guess we'll start kind of. I guess we'll start from Saturday, which would have been EA, which I don't really care too much about, especially because they didn't even have a press conference this year. So I didn't really tune into whatever they did have. I think it was just like a bunch of live streams, kind of whatever new stuff and games they wanted to show. Again, I didn't tune into any of them live. The only thing I really watched was the new gameplay that they had for Jedi Fallen Order, which I forgot to put on here, but that does look good. I'm excited for that. That's like the only thing EA I care about, really. Um, but it looks good. It looks good. My son loves your streams. Well, assuming that's not a joke, that's good. I'm glad. But yeah, Saturday again. That was EA. Nothing really too crazy there. But again, Jedi Fallen Order does look really good, and I think that comes out on November 15th. But we knew that before E3. So from there we move on to uh, Microsoft. There was the first big one, and it was on Sunday, and it was okay. I don't think it was bad. It was just kind of average overall. Like nothing really like amazed me. Again, the only thing I really have up here from them. Oh wait, yeah, actually, hold on. I take that back. So I have two things up here from their conference. Of course, the new Cyberpunk trailer was cool, and of course, Keanu Reeves being in it and being there was pretty awesome. That was cool. And getting a release date for that game is awesome. April 16th, I believe, of next year. So that's not too far off. I didn't expect it to come out this year, and well, it's not. But yeah, it's gonna be a cool game. It's cool to have Keanu Reeves in there. So yeah, that would be cool. That looks fun. And then the only other thing I kind of have here was, of course, Halo Infinite. I'm a big Halo fan. I have been since basically Halo 3. That was like the first one I owned because I didn't have a normal original Xbox, so I got a 360 back in like 2008, and I played Halo 3, and then I've gone back and played all of them and own all of them now. So, but yeah, Halo Infinite. It's cool to see anything because we didn't even really see too much last year, but we still really haven't seen gameplay, and we probably won't until next year because it's going to be a launch title with the new Xbox, which I guess was also another cool thing I could have put up here. But yeah, Project Scarlet. So that's going to be launching holiday of next year along with Halo, which is cool. Again, I'm a huge Halo fan, so I'm looking forward to it still, even though it's also going to be on PC. And I would probably just prefer to play it on there anyways because PC controls for a first-person shooter are going to be infinitely better than whatever the Xbox Scarlet or whatever it's going to be is going to have. But still, it'll be cool. Um, the trailer, the cinematic or whatever that they showed was neat, and it looked really nice. So it will be very nice. Oh yeah, I didn't put Bethesda stuff on here. Well, that's okay. Um, that's another oversight of mine. But yeah, the only other conference on Sunday was Bethesda's, And honestly, again, it, I mean, Microsoft did more for me than Bethesda. I mean, nothing really stood out to me at Bethesda's. There were a couple of cool things. Um, that Ghostwire Tokyo game looks kind of interesting, but again, we didn't really see gameplay, so it was just kind of the cinematic, which again was cool, but I don't really know anything about it. Um, I don't care really about Fallout 76, so the updates for that are nothing really. I mean, a battle royale is kind of it's kind of dumb, but sure. Uh, what else was at Bethesda's? Actually, the Wolfenstein games are cool. I like the modern Wolfenstein games, so I don't know. The VR one, I guess, would be maybe kind of fun. But Youngblood looks really cool. I'm glad it's going to be co-op. That does look fun. And then the big thing, again, I kind of forgot to put it on here for Bethesda that I was looking forward to was, of course, Doom Eternal. And it delivered. Doom Eternal looks really good. We got a release date, which was November 22nd of this year. So I'm really looking forward to that. I was hoping it was going to be like summer, maybe like later summer, but hey, it's still coming out this year. It still looks really good. There's a lot of demons. There's a lot of guns. It's Doom, so I'm happy about that. We got to see a lot of that too. One of the few games we actually saw like gameplay of too, because like a lot of things at E3 this year, it seems were like a lot of cinematics and spectacle, but not a lot of gameplay when it came to new games. So it was nice to see gameplay for Doom. Although I guess that was announced last year, so I guess it makes sense that we're going to be seeing gameplay this year because, yeah, I mean, a lot of things that were just shown off in spectacle and trailers this year we'll probably be seeing next year, but hey, whatever. Um, but yeah, overall, Bethesda's was, I mean, it wasn't awful, but it just was kind of average, I'd say. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was a pretty average day for E3. I mean, I guess up until that point, it was pretty average, like overall, because like EA, there wasn't anything too crazy. Again, Star Wars is cool, but that was like it. Microsoft, I mean, Keanu thing was cool, and Halo is Halo, but other than that, again, kind of whatever. Bethesda, pretty whatever. Yeah, Ghostwire does look cool. That was one of the ones that I did mention in Bethesda's. It's just again like we didn't really see gameplay of it, so a lot of the games that we've seen that are new were just like cinematics and whatnot. So it's kind of hard to gauge how it's gonna be. Um, but yeah, and then Monday was the PC gaming show, Ubisoft and Square Enix. Now I did not get to watch the PC gaming show or Ubisoft, so I can't really say anything much about seeing them live. But there were a couple of cool things from both. So from PC Gaming Show, I know there's some more stuff about Borderlands 3. There was the new Terraria update got a trailer, like the final update for Terraria. I love Terraria, so that was cool. I think the next big Warframe update got a teaser, so that was cool. There's a bunch of like little things at the PC Gaming Show. It's pretty. I think it's usually pretty like low key at that conference, but it's still fun. And if I had the chance to watch it, I would have. But overall, nothing like egregiously bad or just super hype or anything. Just again, just kind of average from what I gathered from it. And then after that was Ubisoft, which again I did not watch live. I know the big announcements were Watch Dogs Legion, which actually seems kind of cool. I didn't hate the first game. Um, I don't think it's you know super awful like a lot of people do. It's nothing too crazy either. I actually recently got two, but I haven't played a whole lot of it. Um, but it seems like a definite improvement of the first game. Like it's very colorful and very like funny in from what I've played. So I mean like that's and Legion looks really cool with how you kind of just like can play as any NPC. From what I could like understand, so that is cool. There's definitely some cool things going on there. I think it comes out next year, next spring. I think. I don't remember the release date for that one, so I don't know. Maybe I'll play it, but other than that, the other Ubisoft things. I saw the Adventure Time stuff in Brawlhalla. I've played a little bit of Brawlhalla in the past. It's kind of like a Smash Brothers clone on PC and a couple other platforms now. It's fun. Just not really anything I'm super interested in, but it's cool to have Adventure Time characters in there. Adventure Time was a show I enjoyed for the most part when I did watch it, but I haven't watched it in a really long time. So, um, what else was at Ubisoft that I saw? I don't think there was no new Assassin's Creed, but I think we already knew that. Um, there was a couple of Rainbow Six things. I play Siege, so that was cool. They announced that the next operation would have been starting today, and it did. So I haven't played any of it, but the new operators look cool. They announced the co-op Rainbow Six game that's coming out next year. That's going to be cool. It's based off of presumably a game mode that was like a limited time thing in Siege, and I think it's going to be like three-player co-op, like PVE. So I don't know if there was a trailer, but I know it's called Rainbow Six Quarantine. I'm looking forward to that because again, I really like Rainbow Six. So that will be pretty cool whenever that comes out next year. I don't know if there was a release date. There was a bunch of Tom Clancy stuff, like not just Siege. There was like more stuff about the new Ghost Recon game. There was stuff about um, there's stuff about the Division. I don't play those games, so I can't say much. But hey, for those who like them and play them, that's all cool. None of the games had any unique art direction besides Gods and Monsters. Gods and Monsters. I don't remember what that game is. Did I see that one? Let me hold on. Let me look that up real quick. Gods and Monsters. Oh, I completely missed this one. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty, well, pretty. New action game from the creators of Assassin's Creed. It's the Odyssey team. Okay, so the people who made Assassin's Creed Odyssey are making this a new game, Gods and Monsters. Yeah, I didn't see this. Action adventure game. They customize a player who can run around a vast world. Okay. Hmm. Did this get a release date? This looks kind of cool. Certainly, yeah, it has a very colorful and like poppy art style. I like it. It really pops. Um, the game's been in the works since late last year, and despite it being slated for a February release, say it will be a full-size action role-playing game. Okay, so it comes out next year. It'll be on Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC. Okay. Yeah, this actually looks pretty cool. I didn't know about this, so thanks for mentioning that. That actually does look cool. I'll have to look at that trailer later. Uh, I guess there was that. The other Tom Clancy stuff. Excuse me. And I think that about does it for Ubisoft from what I heard and saw of them. I think there's also some weird like roller skating game or something that they announced. I don't know too much about it, but I had saw something like it. And then the final conference yesterday on Monday was Square Enix, which I did get to watch. And it started off really strong with the Final Fantasy VII remake. I've kind of been a final. I'm more of a, I guess like a newer fan to Final Fantasy. I played 15 when it came out, and I enjoyed it. I play a lot of 14 online, but it's just an MMO, so that's kind of different from any other Final Fantasies. But you know, I respect the games, and I'd like to go and play some of the older ones. But the 7 remake looks really good. They had like pretty much the first 20 minutes of the show dedicated to it at Square Enix's conference, and it looks really good. Um, I know a lot of people like 7, so I'm not too interested, especially with this coming out, to go back and play the original. But the remake looks really good. I'll definitely be picking that up when it comes out. I believe it has the release date of March 3rd of next year, so again, not too far off. But it looks really good. Like, really good. The combat looks like a very cool blend of real time action and has a little bit of like the turn based strategy in there. The graphics look really great. The music's great. It's Final Fantasy, so I'm looking forward to it. I know obviously probably not as much as like longtime FF fans, especially people who love Seven. But it does look really solid. After that, though, they kind of just kept going down at the Square Enix because I mean, like after it just they just like with every new thing they were showing, it was just kind of like I don't know, it wasn't like super interesting or anything. It was okay, but nothing really like grasped my interest as much as FF7 remake. I guess we did get to see a new trailer for Shadowbringers, the next expansion for 14. So for me, that was kind of cool because again, I like that game, but it's MMO, so I get that people don't really care or don't like it. So, but that was a cool trailer that comes out at the end of the month. Um, and then of course it was kind of whatever, and then they ended it with another big title that a lot of people have been waiting for, the Avengers game, which I believe is slated for a May release of next year. And I will be honest, I do not think the debut for that game was anything too crazy. It just, I don't know. Like, I get that they're doing their own thing with the game and not just like doing MCU stuff, but the characters, like, I don't know, they just look weird. And I get it. Again, they're not trying to copy the MCU, they're doing their own thing. So it makes sense that these characters aren't going to look the same. But for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, we're so used to the MCU versions of those characters that it's just kind of weird to see them like this. Um, and I don't know, like they didn't. It was very like again kind of one of those games where it was like mostly cinematics and stuff that we saw. It seemed like there might have been like clips of gameplay in there, but I wonder if that was actual gameplay. So I don't know. I mean, I think I think it has potential, and again, it's only like it's still like a year out, so we got a lot of time. They've got a lot of time to like polish it and work on it, and give us some more trailers and stuff. I don't think it was terrible, but I don't think the debut for it was amazing. You know, um, but again, time will tell. So we'll see. I think it could be fun. I just want to see, like most of the other cool new games that were shown at this year's E3. I want to see gameplay because we got the idea that it's like an action game with co-op presumably, but they didn't really expand too much on that. So I don't know. We'll see. And that was the end. That was like I think the last. Yeah, that was the last thing that they showed at Square's conference. So you know, again, it started off strong. This is coming, especially this is coming from someone who is a recent fan of Final Fantasy. I think again the seven looks really good. It's a long time coming, I know, so a lot of people have been looking forward to this, and it looks like the work is paying off. And, you know, yeah, they started off strong, but everything in between the start and the beginning was kind of whatever, really. Um, and again, Avengers, you know, it looks okay. It'll probably get better as time goes on, and we get to see it more as it gets towards being the final product. Oh, and I will say, I know a lot of people were excited about the Final Fantasy VIII remake. That is cool, or not remake, remaster. That's cool. Um, I don't know much about eight, but it's cool to have that one remastered because there's a lot of them that I think with that one, like all of the like 3D ones have kind of been remastered now because there was seven. Now we're getting eight. Nine was remastered. 10 and 10.2 have been remastered. 11's an MMO, so they're not going to do that. 12, yeah, the Zodiac Age that got remastered. And then 13, they didn't remaster 13, but it's a more modern game, so that makes sense. Cap wears hockey pads. Yeah, I don't know. The character designs for the Avengers, like, they're not bad, but some of them are just, like, kind of Again, it's just kind of jarring because we're so used to seeing them as they are in the MCU that anything that's, like, different is just kind of weird. And, like, I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but I feel like it's like they're kind of like they're doing their own thing with the designs, but it also like looks like they're kind of pulling from MC. Like Bruce, especially the Hulk, Bruce Banner, he looks a lot like I think his model looks the most like his MCU counterpart. It looks a lot like Mark Ruffalo. Maybe that's just me, but I think that one was like I was like, oh, that looks a lot like Mark Ruffalo, but it's not. And then Thor, yeah, Cap like I don't know, Cap looked really wide. I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe it was just like the suit he had on, but I don't know. I'll say this about the Avengers game. Again, it has potential. It's a long time out, or it's about a year out, so we got time. I'm still more excited for Ultimate Alliance 3. I mean, I know that's coming out in like a month, but that game, that's going to be, I think, I'm more excited about that one than I am Avengers. Um, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention about Square Enix is, since it was announced, I am looking forward to the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles remake. That game looks really fun. I love co-op games, so a co-op cute little Final Fantasy game sounds fun. Looks cool. They showed a little trailer during their conference with that had like showing that it's going to be on mobile devices, which I guess is cool. But I want to get it on the Switch when it comes out, and I hope some of my friends get it so we can play because I think it looks fun. And I think that got a release window for this winter, so it's not quite like we didn't get quite a release date yet, but it does look cool. Okay, and that was Square Enix's. That was the last direct for yesterday, Monday. And of course, today, Tuesday the 11th, was Nintendo's conference. Now, I did not get to watch it live. I was at work, unfortunately. While at work, before I went in, I turned off my phone. I didn't want any notifications. I didn't want any tweets. I didn't want anything about what was going on during it. And I was luckily I didn't get spoiled or anything. I was still going in blind. As soon as I got off work and I got home, I loaded it up. I watched it, and I'll just say it from the start. Yeah, Nintendo won this year. I mean, again, I don't think I don't think any of the conferences this year were terrible. I think most of them were average, but Nintendo, yeah, they won. I mean, right from the get go, Smash trailer, we got the hero there, as you see from Dragon Quest 11, which is cool. I haven't played the game yet. I want to, but I'm at this point. I'm just gonna wait for the Switch release for the definitive edition because there's a lot of cool stuff that they're adding to that, and so I'm gonna wait until then to play it. But I have played a couple of Dragon Quest games in the past. I've played 9 on the DS. That was a fantastic game. I've played the remake of 8 on the 3DS, and I think that's it. So I've only played like a couple of the games. I want to play 11. I think the hero looks cool. The name's kind of lame, but I think he looks cool. I like how his alternate costumes are like different protagonists from the different Dragon Quest games. So there's the one from 11, which is like the main one in the trailer at the start, and then there was one from I believe Dragon Quest 8, 3, and oh gosh, I don't remember. I think 2 maybe. I don't know, but it's cool. I like having like all these different Dragon Quest heroes represented here. His trailer was really nice. It seems cool that he has like a spell menu, I guess, and he has like an MP bar. I don't know. I guess we'll probably see more about it. He looks cool though. The stage is nice. He looks cool. I like the skins or like the costumes for him. Dragon Quest music is fantastic. So the music in the trailer and of course that's going to be in the game is going to be good. So that was awesome. I thought that was a really cool way to start it. And then they had a little cute little moment with Koizumi and Bowser, and when they were introducing the new president of Nintendo of America, Doug Bowser, which he seems like a cool guy. I like that little bit there at the beginning with Bowser and Doug Bowser. Um, and then they moved on, of course. Like it was like game after game, trailers and reveals and stuff. They showed more about Luigi's Mansion 3, which looks great, both visually and gameplay. It looks really fun. I don't think we got a release date, but it's coming this year, so that's cool. I definitely want to play it. We did get a release date for the Switch version of Dragon Quest 11 because they showed a new trailer for it at Square's conference yet like Monday, but then they didn't have a release date. And then at the direct today, they had a trailer after the Smash trailer for the Dragon Quest hero, and the I think comes out on September 27th. So that's gonna be cool. I'm glad we finally have a release date for that version. I definitely want to get it. Um, and then we got a lot of things. Like there was really a lot in the direct. Um, Cadence of Hyrule. That's coming out on Thursday. I definitely going to be picking up and playing that because I really like Crypt of the Necrodancer. So that with Zelda looks really cool. Um, Trials of Mana. So we got the collection of mana that released on the eShop like during the direct, I guess. That was cool. And then, but before that, they showed like this trailer for Trials of Mana, which is a remake coming out next year, and that's like a 3D remake of the third game in the series. I think it looks really cool. I'm actually really excited about that game. I have not played any of those games. I want to though, and I definitely want to play Trials of Mana when it comes out. That looks really cool. Um, what else was there? No More Heroes 3. That was a surprise. Those were fun games on the Wii, so it's cool to see that we're getting a third one next year, I believe. What else? What else? What else? There was a lot. Um, I don't think it was in. It was in Nintendo's a little bit, but it was more in Square Enix's. But Dragon Quest Builders 2, that also looks really fun. I want to pick that up. Like Dragon Quest Minecraft, I think it looks pretty fun and cute, so I want to try it. Um, what else? There is so much in this direct. I already mentioned Luigi's Mansion 3. Of course, we'll talk about Animal Crossing. It looks great, I think visually. Gameplay, it looks like it's Animal Crossing. It does, of course, suck that it got pushed back to March of next year, but in all fairness, there's a lot coming out this year, especially for Nintendo. So I'm okay with it. We're gonna get a better game, since they get to take their time. And March, like spring, is a perfect time for like a chill game like Animal Crossing to release. And it'll probably be pretty quiet, for releases because like we have a lot of the big things coming out, you know, August, September, and late this year. So, usually early in the year it's kind of slow for releases. So I think Animal Crossing is a good fit for that part of the year. I'm still really excited. It still looks really good. Of course, I'm still kind of bummed out that it's not coming this year, but hey, there's already a lot of things to play this year, so I'm okay with it. Um, what else? Before I go into like the last two really big things there on screen, um, that might be. I feel like I'm missing something here. I said Trials of Mana, Animal Crossing, Panzer Dragoon remake is pretty cool. Um, got the Cadence of Hyrule in there. Yeah, I think so. I guess we'll move on then to the last big things, which of course they showed another Smash trailer at the end, and yep, Banjo Kazooie are getting into the game. Now, I have not played either of the Banjo Kazooie games, um, but I know people love them a lot, and I know a lot of people on the internet were super crazy excited for them getting in the game, and I'm 100% there. Like for me, there's no I'm never like down on a Smash Brothers character because it's Smash Brothers. I love it. Any character that gets in, I'm excited for them. It's cool to have more video game characters in this big video game crossover game. So while I guess personally I have more of a connection to Dragon Quest than I do Banjo Kazooie. I understand the excitement. I understand the hype. I am really happy that he's in. It's really cool to see like a Microsoft character essentially get into Smash Brothers. Um, and yeah, I mean the trailer was great. They did like the other fake out like they did last year with the K. Rool trailer, with this time with Duck Hunt, but it was Banjo Kazooie. The music is really good. I will say that much. The stage looks really cool, so I'm excited. Again, I'm not a downer on any Smash Brothers character that gets in. It's just yeah, Banjo's not like the craziest thing for me, but it's still awesome. Like it really is, and I'm really excited for everybody who's a big Banjo Kazooie fan. And again, it's really cool to see the whole Nintendo and Microsoft like you know uh, teamwork going strong. Um, and they like kind of ended the direct with that, kind of. But then Koizumi, no, it wasn't Koizumi. It was I don't remember his name. Or was it Koizumi? I don't think it was. It was like I don't remember his name. but they were like saying like, yeah, all of these games are great. They're going to be coming out, pretty soon or this year, and we have many other games that are in development. And then they were like, yeah, we're going to actually show you just one last thing. And of course, they showed a little teaser for a sequel to Breath of the Wild, which looks pretty spooky. Like, I feel like it's kind of like going for like a Majora's Mask kind of thing, because it seems like they're presumably going to be using a lot of assets in the same engine as Breath of the Wild for the sequel. And they did that with Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask, and it seems like the tone shift here is like it's a pretty spooky and like weird teaser that they released. But I'm really excited for it. Breath of the Wild was great. Um, it was cool. It's cool seeing Link and Zelda like exploring together and discovering things. And I really like Zelda with her short hair. It looks really nice. That's a good design. And then there's like weird like corpse thing. It might have been like Ganondorf or something. I don't know. I'm excited. It's cool to know that there's a Breath of the Wild sequel in development. And oh yeah, one other thing is the other Zelda game, Link's Awakening, the remake. I'm excited for that. I never played the original. Again, it was a little bit before me. So I think it looks really cute. It looks really pretty too. I want to pick it up. It comes out on September 20th. We got the release date. It looks like you can like build your own dungeons in it too, which is again also a really cool feature. It looks fun. It looks fun. It looks cute. I want it. I want the little Link amiibo that they're coming out with as well because it looks really cute. Um, but yeah, overall, there was just like for me the most enjoyment that I got out of any conferences here was Nintendo. Mostly because like every other conference kind of had like bits and pieces that I liked, but like almost pretty much everything that Nintendo showed like was I was there. Like it was exciting, it was fun, it was cool. So for me, Nintendo won. Nintendo had the best showing. They had like we got to see a bunch of cool new things and new information on games we already knew about, like Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion. Seeing not one but two new Smash DLC characters is awesome. And I think they're really good choices. I know somewhere on the internet people were like, saying like, we got like the Dragon Quest hero for like the Japanese fans, and then for everyone else, Banjo. Which yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Like it's a good choice of characters because you know clearly Banjo Kazooie is not as big as it is in Japan as, or it's not big in Japan, whereas like here in the West and Europe and stuff, it's going to be really big. And actually, speaking of Banjo, it is really cool to have another Western character in Smash Brothers because obviously Japanese developer, a lot of the characters in the game are from Japanese developers. So it's cool to have another Western character in the game because I believe Rare is a Western company. So it's cool. I like that more Western showsmanship in the game because I think really aside from Banjo, the only other characters are Shovel Knight, but he's an assist trophy, and then Dark Samus because that was from Metroid Prime and that was developed by Retro Studios, which was an American studio. So aside from Dark Samus, Banjo, and Shovel Knight, think I think that's all of the Western characters. I'd have to look at the like the character roster for Smash Ultimate again, but yeah, it's cool to have that. So, but yeah, overall, Nintendo won for me. I'm sure for a lot of people, Nintendo won as well. Um, and overall, I think this was a pretty good E3. Last year, last year was I don't remember really much about last year. The only thing that really stood out to me about last year was like the the Smash blowout that we got at Nintendo's Direct at E3 last year. But honestly, when not taking the Smash portion of that Direct from last year into consideration, Nintendo's Direct last year was really bad. I think it was really lame. There wasn't really a whole lot of cool new stuff. But this year, I think you know, everyone did pretty good. Nintendo did really good. But I think everyone brought enough to their conferences to, satisfy everybody, especially Nintendo. But of course, um, we're kind of in a weird period right now where we're kind of at the end of the current console generation when it comes to like Microsoft and Sony. Which, by the way, nice showing Sony. Maybe they had the best E3 conference, by not doing anything. But we know that the PS5 and I guess Xbox Scarlet they're coming. Xbox, the next one is coming out next year. Presumably the PS5 is coming next year. So I guess it makes sense that a lot of the new games that were announced were mostly just cinematics and stuff because what's probably going to end up happening is they're going to end up being games for the new consoles. Now, we know that the PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4 games. So, even though there's some pretty big PS4 games still coming out, like Death Stranding, and then next year Persona 5 Royal and Final Fantasy 7 Remake, while those are big games still for the PS4, we know that they're going to be playable on the PS5. So, it's still okay for them to come out because if you buy them on the PS4 and then you end up getting a PS5 if it comes out next year, well, there you go. You can still play them. So that's really nice. Um, we don't know about that for the Xbox Scarlet. We don't know too much, but hopefully it will be backwards compatible with Xbox One games. The Xbox One has been really good about being compatible with certain 360 and original Xbox games. So that's awesome. So hopefully Microsoft carries that onwards to their next one, and it can, maybe hopefully the Xbox Scarlet can just play everything Xbox. That'd be awesome. Um, so uh, it's kind of again it's this weird like transitional period for the gaming community as a whole because we're getting into like the next big uh, generation of gaming. So maybe that's a reason why a lot of what we did see that is new we didn't see gameplay of. But there's still some really good stuff coming out this year and early next year for what we still have in terms of consoles. So it's going to be exciting. I think we have a pretty good year ahead of us. Probably not as strong still as like 2017 or maybe even last year. Last year was pretty good too, but definitely a solid year and some good stuff coming next year early as well. So, but yeah, I think E3 was pretty good this year. I know I keep saying like talking like it's over, but it's really not because the E3 show floor I think is still open for the next 2 or 3 days. So we're still gonna have like a lot of gameplay footage and maybe even some more news and stuff coming out. Of course, for Nintendo they have like their Treehouse live going up for I think tomorrow and Thursday. So there's gonna be a lot of gameplay and stuff in that of new games and whatnot. Like I know in the Treehouse live after their direct today they showed some stuff about Ultimate Alliance and we got to see some Animal Crossing gameplay. So E3's still definitely going. It's just when it comes to conferences and whatnot, we're done. And I think it was good. I think it really was. It was an enjoyable set of conferences that I watched and other people did. So yeah, okay. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about E3.